Label Planet's World of How To presents How to Fix Misaligned Label Templates Part 2, How to Fix a Template That Won't Line Up With Your Labels. In this video we'll explain how to fix these types of misalignment. The misalignment is the same for every label. The misalignment gets worse moving away from a specific point. The misalignment doesn't form a pattern. The misalignment is worse or opposite in the corners. If the misalignment is the same for every label, the problem is usually caused by your printer's starting print position. Most desktop printers can't print the full area of an A4 sheet and start printing somewhere in the top left corner. If this point doesn't match where your labels start on your label sheets, then your labels will all be misaligned by the same amount in the same direction. The easiest way to fix this misalignment is to adjust the page margins of your template. If your labels are too high, increase the top page margin. If your labels are too low, decrease the top page margin. If your labels are too far left, increase the left page margin. If your labels are too far right, decrease the left page margin. Here's how to adjust the page margins of Word label templates. Click on the Layout tab. Click on Margins and select Custom Margins. You may need to adjust the top and left margins. You can adjust the margins using the buttons or by typing in the boxes. The buttons only increase or decrease the margins by whole numbers. If Word displays a warning about your margins, click Ignore. The designs have now all moved down by 7.5 mm. If the misalignment gets worse moving away from a specific point, like the center or a corner, the problem is usually caused by your printer's print settings or your software settings. Check both to make sure that the page or media size is set to A4. No scaling options are applied, for example, less than 100% or any settings called Fit to, Resize to, or Scale. Your chosen printer settings are being used, rather than default settings. You should also run your device's update tool, for example, Windows Updates or App Store, to make sure your printer is using the latest print driver. Scaling can also be caused by using the wrong template or software that autocorrects your template measurements. See the next section. Here's how to check your printer and software settings in Word. Click on File and Print to access the print preview screen. This is where you will find the print settings being used by your printer and software. First, make sure your printer is using the media bypass tray, if there is one. Our printer calls it the multipurpose tray. Next, check each tab for settings about page or media size, scaling, printer versus default settings. Here we can see the media size is set to A4, which is correct. Use Page Setup to check the software settings being used for your template. Check your margins. Click on the Paper tab. Paper size should be A4. Paper source should match the tray you are using, like the bypass tray. Click Ignore if Word warns you about the margins. Finally, click on Options to check the software settings being used by Word. Click on Advanced and scroll down to Print. Make sure that Print Pages in Reverse Order is off. Scale Content is off. Default Tray, Use Printer Settings is on. Things to remember. If your printer has a built-in menu panel, check the print settings here as well. For PDF templates, try printing from a simple PDF reader instead of your design software. You can also check if your printer's driver is up to date using software supplied with your printer, the built-in menu panel, or by visiting the support section of the manufacturer's website. If the misalignment doesn't form a pattern, the problem is usually caused by using the wrong label template, or by your software auto-correcting your template's measurements as you add your design. You can fix this by checking that you have the correct label template and checking the measurements of your template. At Label Planet, all of our templates include the label size code in their file name, and we list full measurements on our template pages. Here's how to check you have the correct template and template measurements. When you download a Word or PDF template from Label Planet, the label size code will be part of the file name. All of our label template pages include full measurements. Here are our LP12/64R and LP12/60R round label sizes. Both feature 12 labels per sheet, but all of the other measurements are different. You can use these measurements to check you have the right template, or to find out if your software has auto-corrected your measurements. Here's how to check label template measurements in Word. Check the margins by clicking on Layout, Margins, and Custom Margins. Use the up and down buttons to change your margins by whole numbers, or select a margin and type in the value you want to use. Remember to click Ignore on words Margin Warning. Check the label size and gaps by clicking on Table Tools Layout. The height and width boxes show the size of the label, or gap, your cursor is inside. You can change a measurement using the up and down buttons, by whole numbers only, or by selecting and typing in the value you want to use. You can also use the Properties tool. If the misalignment is worse or opposite in the corners, the problem is probably caused by your label sheets rotating inside your printer. You can reduce rotation by using your printer's media bypass tray, if there is one. This is a second tray usually located just above the main paper tray. It is designed for thicker print media, like labels, and provides a straighter path through the printer. Carefully aligning the tray guides alongside your label sheets. Cleaning your printer's rollers with acetone and a label remover. Only do this if you are confident doing so, as DIY maintenance may void your warranty. It may be simpler to access a newer, cleaner printer, feeding your label sheets through one at a time. Please watch part 1 of How to Fix Misaligned Label Templates for instructions on how to work out what is going wrong with your template. Thank you for watching.